Hi, I'm Pat McCormick. Welcome to Go Soldiers. It's a beautiful day. This is the South Mountain Battlefield, Fox Gap. That's where we're at today. Come along on another adventure. Stonewall Regiment. More than 90,000 Michigan men served in the Union Army and Navy during the Civil War. The 17th Michigan Volunteer Infantry Regiment was mustered at the Detroit Barracks in August of 1862 under the command of Colonel William H. Withington. The regiment consisted of raw recruits from field, workshop, and schoolroom. One company was composed almost entirely of students from Ypsilanti Normal School, now Eastern Michigan University. With less than a month of military training, the 17th left for Washington, D.C. on August 27, 1862. From there, it was sent to the Maryland Campaign. On September 14th, a little more than 2 weeks after leaving the state and just 3 days before the Battle of Antietam, the regiment engaged in battle here. These were young guys, some college students, some farmers, just out of the fields with very little training when they arrived here. Brand new guys. Couldn't imagine what that would be like to just go into battle, which probably gave a reason for the story of General Reno being shot by his own troops, that they were raw recruits and didn't know what they were doing. But we found out that's probably not true. Looking for evidence of the Wise house, or the well, where apparently Daniel Wise chose to bury 58 Confederate dead bodies instead of doing it correctly. It looked like the house was right at the crossroads, so hard to tell. Not really seeing anything. Deaths of two generals. The fight for Fox's Gap on September 14th, 1862 claimed the lives of two generals, one from each side. Confederate General Samuel Garland, a Lynchburg, Virginia native, attended the Virginia Military Institute at Lexington and later obtained his law degree. Married in 1856, he suffered tragedy early in the war when both his wife and 4-year-old son died in an influenza epidemic. Grief-stricken, he left Lynchburg as captain of the Lynchburg Home Guard, excelled during the Peninsula Campaign and 7 Days battles, and soon attained a general's rank. Charged with defending Fox's Gap, he fell mortally wounded by a bullet through the chest while rallying his men about 3/4 of a mile south of here. Wow. Near here in Wise's Field on the morning of September 14th, 1862, Brigadier General Samuel Garland, Jr., CSA of Lynchburg, Virginia, fell mortally wounded while leading his men. General Garland, I salute you, sir, with the respect that you deserve for your rank, and I will certainly help you if I can. Welcome to historic Wise's Field. The land around you was the scene of heavy fighting during the Battle of South Mountain on September 14th, 1862. Wise's Field is where a lot of the fighting took place, and this is it right here. And across that field there, this is where all the action was right here. We're going to take this trail back here to the North Carolina Monument. There you go. Thirteenth North Carolina Regiment of General Garland's brigade. On the morning of September 14th, 1862, Brigadier General Samuel Garland deployed his troops along the Ridge Road. The 13th North Carolina, under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Ruffin, Jr., in his report describes the morning action. The 13th North Carolina were directed to take position in an open field upon the brow of a hill. The enemy was directly in our front and on our left under cover of a rail fence. We directed our fire to the left and drove them off the field, while still receiving fire from the front. It was then that Brigadier General Samuel Garland fell. We then moved about 50 yards from the brow of the hill, with the enemy advancing and firing. Heavy fire was opened upon us from the right. The enemy had obtained the road on our right and were coming down upon us. An order was given to charge the front, and the enemy gave way. We then charged those on our right and drove them back. While engaged, the enemy appeared upon our left. The regiment about faced, charged, and repulsed them. Then we moved to the Sharpsburg Road and found General Anderson's brigade. We remained with him the rest of the day. Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Ruffin, Jr., 13th North Carolina troops. Brigadier General Samuel Garland was with the 13th North Carolina Regiment as it began to waver under pressure. Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Ruffin, Jr. shouted, "General, why are you here?" Garland replied, "I may as well be here as yourself." Ruffin answered, "No, it is my duty, but you should lead your brigade from a safer position." At that moment, Ruffin was hit in the hip, and Garland also fell, hit in the center of the back, and exited 2 inches above his right breast. His last words were, "I am killed. Send for the senior colonel." All right, let's move on. Driven back from the front, the enemy falling back through Wise's Garden were met by our line coming up from the rear and the flank, and a terrific fight ensued. The color bearer of a Confederate regiment jumped up on the rear wall of the garden and, defiantly waving his flag, refused the many calls to surrender, which he received, was shot, and fell inside the garden wall. Private Hoagland of my company jumped over the fence and secured the flag. Lieutenant Colonel Coleman of the 11th, who was present and who had called upon the man to surrender, ordered Hoagland to deliver the flag to him and afterwards claimed credit of its capture. R.B. Wilson, 12th Ohio. North Carolina. In memory of the North Carolinians who fought at or near here September 14th, 1862. General D.H. Hill was in command of the Confederates, with elements of Longstreet's corps arriving in the afternoon. The fighting here at Fox's Gap saw one of the few instances of actual hand-to-hand combat of the war. The 13th North Carolina was totally surrounded after the mortal wounding of Brigadier General Samuel Garland, just a few yards from here. 2 days after the battle, 58 Confederate dead were dumped down the well of Daniel Wise, located northwest. In 1874, they were reinterred in Hagerstown, Maryland. Wow, that's the story of Daniel Wise being paid $1 to bury a single body and dumping them down his well and getting about 58, maybe 60 bucks, who knows, which was a lot of money at the time. Those poor Confederates that were dumped down there, that's not right. And we're going to try to help some of them here in a little bit. We're here. We're here. I heard that. What was that?
This is November 8th, 2024. Southbound Battlefield.
Well, I certainly heard we're here. Guys, I hear you. I hear that you're here. Oh, man. That's very, very, very clear. We're here. All right. I thought there'd be some people here. Hi, guys. My name is Patrick. I'm here to help. My cousin lives in North Carolina. I go there often. Beautiful state. I love it. I'm here to help you guys. Is Brigadier General Samuel Garland here with you guys? Could you let me know? If so, I would like to speak with the general, please. Saluting to show him rank and respect and honor. General, I'm here to help you, sir. And your men.
Let me know. So, I would like to speak with the general, please. Saluting to show him rank and respect and honor. General, I'm here to help you, sir. And your men.
I think I heard ready right at the end. I believe at the beginning, I was talking to the general. He's kind of like, I am. You're talking to him. I'm going to help these guys. They're ready to go? All right, let's do it. I'll be right back. I know you're ready to go. I'm going to help you now. General, if you would stand right here next to me, sir. Here, God's going to open a doorway, and that's heaven. That's where all your guys are going. Not a whole lot there, but I can feel they've crossed. Completely different feeling right now. So good for them. Especially if there's nobody saying help me at the end, that means they're gone. Behind me is where the Union troops would have come up that day, September 14th, and they pushed the rebels up the hill here. The Union troops would have had to come up across this field to get to them, which would have been terrifying and deadly. One of the few instances during the Civil War where hand-to-hand combat actually happened was right here, by this stone wall. And these guys were stubborn. These Tar Heels would not give up. They would not move. They would not budge. And they suffered a lot of casualties for that. But we just helped cross over a bunch of guys from North Carolina, I believe. It feels pretty good here. So, just beautiful here. Just beautiful.